everyone! I'm really excited today that I'm finally going to get to open a subscription box. Yay! Okay, so really I have not subscribed to any of them because they are so incredibly expensive to get them to Australia. I think most of them are American, and once you factor in the exchange rate and the shipping, yeah, they become exorbitantly priced. But a lovely person who I have made friends with, and she's a fellow YouTuber. She is Miranda Watson of Alkali Creek Art. I'm going to post in the description below her channel, and if you like watching people open subscription boxes, I highly recommend her channel because she's got a couple of different subscriptions and she does them on a regular basis. She actually got this Paletteful Packs in her subscription, and that's, we can see it's a palettefulpacks.com down here, and she's opened it on camera. It is July 2020's Paletteful Packs box, and I'm going to link down the video below that she made originally opening this. She didn't particularly care for the products, and so she decided to give them away, and I think that is most incredibly generous. And we'd been chatting and she knows that I like the particular types of products in here, and you'll see why in a moment. So she really kindly posted this to me from Colorado, America, all the way to Melbourne, Australia, and it took weeks to arrive. I had a tracking number, but all it basically said was that it had left Los Angeles and it was in transit for weeks on end. Heaven only knows where it went. And then it ended up in Sydney, and then it was in transit again for about another week and a half, and then it finally arrived, and I'm really excited to open this up today. So let's get into it. Alrighty, let's get this thing open, shall we? Because it's too exciting. I love getting mail. I haven't had much mail lately because I've not been really ordering anything or getting much. Oh, look at this. Oh, how nice. Oh, Becky, I'm so glad I knew of someone that would really like these supplies. I hope you like them, and maybe I'll see what you do with them in your channel eventually. That would be fun. Take care of yourself. Warmly, Miranda Watson. Thank you so much, Miranda. That's really lovely. I shall keep that note in a safe place. I can see why people love these boxes. I mean, how pretty is that? It's so pretty. I might have to keep this green paper and make something with it because it's too nice to throw away. And inside here we have goodies. So I think I'll pull everything out because this green paper is going to go everywhere. Oh my goodness, I cannot do that neatly. One moment while I tidy up. Oh, Gandalf, you've come to have a look, have you? Yeah, that's very helpful. Okay, I've popped the box to one side. Oops, still got some remnants here. Let's put them over here, and I shall open this bag and see what goodies are inside. Not that I don't already know, but let's look together, shall we? Oh my goodness, that is tightly packed in there. Let's see if we can pull it out without destroying the bag. There we go. If you've seen a few of my other videos, I've done some Scratchboard art kits, and I've just done the ones that have ready-made patterns already on them, but I saw that Miranda had opened this up, and it's basically a whole bunch of Scratchboard goodies, and it's here so that you can make your own art, and I'm really excited to do that. I've been wanting to do that for a while. I already have an idea of what I might do, but let's see what came in this box. So here are 8 sheets. I think there may have been 10 of them originally, but obviously Miranda has done some art with them. And then there's also an actual Scratchboard, so this is, it's just a panel basically. We've got some paperwork. Okay, so there were 10 originally. Oh look, here's 9. Number 9. So she only ended up using 1, and she's given me 9 of the boards. So thank you so much. That's really generous of you. These things are not cheap to buy, and especially when you start adding up all of these bits as well. Here we've got a bunch of the tools. It's a whole set, and I actually do already have some of these. Let's just drop them out here. And so now I've got loads of them because I've got mine sitting in a pot next to my desk. So these are my ones which came in a set. but these ones have coloured handles. Between the two sets of colours, and now I don't remember which ones are which. I do now have a large collection of Scratchboard scratchy things. I don't even know what these are called. Scratches, that's what we'll call them. I'll just put these to one side for the moment. Now I will just point out that these blades are pretty sharp. I have said this before, so do be careful with them. They're like a knife, maybe not quite as sharp as one, but they would still give you a nasty cut if you don't use it properly. So do use some caution there. And this is the other thing I was really interested about. So let's talk about these now. I had seen them advertised, I think, at the art shop, but I'd not actually seen them in the store. These come with the Scratchboard art, and I'll just open the bag. These are inks. We've got carmine red, yellow and ultramarine blue, and we've also got a black repair, which I think is actually kind of like India ink, but this one says the only coloured ink made for Scratchboard, so perhaps it's a slightly different formula, I don't know, but I have heard of some people using India ink, and this is good for repairing, so if you scratch something and then decide you don't like it, you can use this to cover it back up again. And so what you can do is scratch out your monochromatic image and then use these lovely inks to paint over it and create your own rainbow Scratchboard. And happily enough, we've got the 3 primary colours here, so we can mix secondaries with them. I think I might do that on a separate piece of paper to see what the colours look like. I've just got a bit of cheap watercolour paper here, and I will just lay them out, see what the colours are like, and I'll also mix them together and see what other things we can get as well. So we've got the carmine red. I'll just blob it straight on so as not to waste it. Well, yeah, this one looks like a magenta to me. And that's just, they look very, very transparent, which is going to be great. So let's just paint that out a little. Wow, that's really pretty. Voiceover Becky decided this part of the video went on for far too long because I was swatching and talking at the same time, so I've sped all this footage up. We've seen swatches any number of times, and this just gives you an idea of what the colours look like. So we've got a magenta colour, a yellow, and it is a bit more leaning towards the ultramarine than more of a cyan blue, so that was a bit of an issue later on. There's the black, and then I mixed up the red and the yellow to get a pretty orange, the blue and the red to get a nice purple. I had to think for a moment, what colour does that make? And as you can see, these are lovely cool colours. That's usually what you get when you have such a cool red like that one. And then I'm mixing the blue and the yellow to make a green, and that's a really pretty green as well. And then finally I just mixed all 3 colours together to see if I could get a black out of it, and I did eventually after I'd added a little bit more of the red on top, because as you can see it's quite green there. But here's all of the swatches and how they look. And then I cut down one of those boards into smaller pieces, and here's some lovely footage of me trying out all of the different tools and getting the lines and seeing the difference between them. And heaven only knows what I'm talking about there. But yes, you can get a lot of variation in lines with all of the tools, and that one in particular makes quite a diggy effect. So here we go, I drew just a really quick little picture of mushrooms just to try them out, and I then put on the inks just to see what they look like as well. Okay, I've been experimenting. As you can see here, I'm not totally convinced by the inks over the top of the Scratchboard because, and I did this deliberately, I painted around onto the black just so we could see if it shows up once it is dry, and sure enough you could see that all over here, so it looks a bit messy. I'm going to persevere. I am going to do a full artwork and use the inks as well because I really want to try again. This is not really super indicative of how everything is going to work, and I also use the black to try and patch up some of it just to see what that's like. Kind of works. It might need more than one coating, and you can see there's still a few little wet patches there because I was too impatient to wait for everything to dry. But anyway, I'm going to have a go at making a full artwork, and hopefully it isn't a total disaster. Okay, I'm going to take a gamble and use the one Scratchboard panel that's in there. It's pretty heavy actually, and very nice. I'm hoping it works the same way as the other Scratchboard that I used. And I'm just going to slide this to one side. I really want to do this photo here, which is a peacock, and it's really complicated, and I'm just trying to think of how I want to get this onto here. I thought about sketching it, but I really don't want to have to touch this more than necessary. So what I think I might do, I'm going to do some white charcoal on the back of this. I'm going to draw the outline of the head and body, maybe just around this bit and maybe the circles, and the rest of it I'm just going to scratch. Because I really don't want to draw a massively complicated thing all in pencil first. I just want to kind of draw it as I go. But I think if I get the salient areas in, then the rest of it I can just make it up as I go along. So fingers crossed this works. Well, I've got this mangy old piece of pastel, so I think I'll just go over some of it. So I'll just do something like this. I don't even know if this is going to stick to this paper, so it'll probably all transfer on there. We'll see how we go. I'll go around here. What I might do is actually, I'll shake off the excess from this as well. You can see it's got other pastel colours on there. I really hate transferring things. It's such a pain. Oh, well that's better. Now I can actually see the peacock. So I'm just going to go over, just do this around the circles, because all I really want is the placement of them, and I'll scratch them in detail. But if I can just get a light circle, then I'll know where they are, because I want to try and keep the symmetry of this as much as possible. Pastels make such a mess, don't they? I'm going to shake all of this off, and hopefully there'll be enough left that I can then trace on the other side through and get some of it to transfer onto the board. Now here's me lining this up ever so carefully to get that picture on there where I wanted it to, and I used a wooden skewer for this. It's got paint on the end because I could not find an unused one, but I didn't want to use pencil over it because I might like to keep the picture for future use in another artwork. So I just scraped around all of the main parts of it, those circles, the head and the body, and the complicated bits around the base parts of the feathers, and as you will see in a moment, I will lift the picture to reveal what's underneath. Oh, please let this work. Yay! That's actually worked really well. I'm so happy with that. I'm amazed. Then I grabbed a scraper tool and I went over all of the marks I'd made, just so then I've got a nice base for making the rest of it up as I go along. Okay, that's the main part scratched out. It was so gross scratching over the top of the chalk pastel. It was like this really horrible texture, and I just couldn't wait to get done. So I've got a damp rag here. I'm just going to wipe off all of that pastel and start with a nice clean slate. I was a bit nervous about stuffing up, but really you just have to jump in with both feet sometimes, don't you? And I just followed the reference image as much as possible and pretty much did all of it, scratching it out. I did have the black there if I wanted to cover any mistakes, but I ended up not needing it. I was quite happy with what I did, and as you can see, it's very, very hypnotic and therapeutic. I am using periodically that damp rag to take off all of the scrapings. So I hope you enjoy this bit. I'll come back for more talking once I've finished scraping out the whole design. this came out way better than I expected. It looks really awesome. I really love this panel. It's so nice. I think I might have to see if I can get some more of these. Really worth it. So, let's colour it, shall we, and see what happens with these inks. I may have cheated just a little bit. I really wanted a turquoise colour for the eyes of the feathers, and I was having trouble making it with the blue and the yellow, so I grabbed out one of my Sennelier inks in turquoise to do this bit. And I tried to add in a little bit of the carmine red to it as well. It's not exactly the same as the photo, but I thought it looked quite pretty in contrast with the rest of the blues and the greens. Once I was done and everything had dried, I covered the whole picture with some clear gloss varnish to seal it. And here's the finished piece. I really like how it turned out. I'm really happy with it. And the acrylic gloss works well to cover everything and take away the marks that the inks leave, which we saw on the swatches. So yeah, it's come out quite well. I'm kind of on the fence about these inks. Like, they look really cool on here, but I almost wish that the background was the rainbow and then you could scratch out the rainbow. I think I'd have more fun with that. But they were fun, you know, they're good enough. And looking at some of the other inks I have, like the shellac ones from Sennelier, and I imagine the Bombay India inks would work as well. You could use other inks on these, because I definitely would have preferred to have more colours than the ones that are here, like if you had a nice aqua and a green and a purple and things. I mean, yeah, you can mix it, but sometimes you can't quite get all of the shades you want, so more colours is always fun, in my opinion. But anyway, I managed to get something. I'm really happy with how the peacock came out. I love this part of the bird especially, and the feathers are kind of cool too. And I just realised I've missed one. I totally forgot to paint that one. No! I can't stand it. I'm going to have to. I'm just going to be really quick and paint a little bit of the shellac over the top. As you can see, maybe the shellac doesn't work quite as well because it's actually left patchy bits, so I may go over this again in my own time. But that's what we have for now, and I really hope you've enjoyed this video. It was so much fun actually doing a scratchboard art from scratch and not one that already had a design drawn on it. So yeah, I can see me doing a lot more of these because I had a great time. I really love the panels. I'm definitely going to see if I can get more of those as well. And thank you once again to Miranda for sending me these things. It was so kind and generous of you, and I've really enjoyed them. I hope that you can see that your art supplies you sent me have gone to good use and to a good home, and I will definitely be doing more of these in the future. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, please don't forget to comment and subscribe, and I will see you all again really soon. Swatch you later and scratch you later. Bye!